everybody, I'm Bree the plant lady.
And I'm Raina the gardener.
And today we wanted to show you how easy it is to grow your own onions. Now we're going to show you two different ways from a bag of tiny bulbs, also called starts. These I got from Tractor Supply, 80 sets for $2.99. So 80 onions for $3. That's my kind of deal. We also have some bunching onions that we're going to show you how to seed. But I wanted to start here because I was telling Aiden, I'm a creature of habit. Basically, when I see onion sets at a store, I buy them, and that's my signal. And sometimes stores don't actually give you the right timing. And in this case, it's not quite right for North Carolina, but I keep doing it. So these were actually planted a year ago, and they haven't really set their bulbs yet. These were actually planted almost a year ago to the day. But you see how big they are, and they're bulking up. And you know, onions for me have a lot of different purposes. I love harvesting them to eat, but I also grow them on edges to deter animals. They're very effective. Rabbits, deer, groundhogs don't like the foliage smell, and voles don't like the bulb smell. So these were actually planted from a bag just like these a year ago. So let's go look around and find somewhere where an edge isn't already planted, and we will get, what, 80 and 80. That's a lot of onions.
160.
160 more onions planted. So as we're trying to figure out where we can plant onions, there's already quite a few that are planted. So like that's all onion right there, and then in here is all garlic. So you can see the difference in the foliage. Onions are much wider and much more silver. So there's no room here. Let's walk somewhere else. You can see all of these beds are already planted with garlic as the edge. We have a lot of garlic planted. There are already onions over here. Actually, there's a mix. This is garlic along the front border, and these are onions. Ah! Oh my God, the deer thing. It got me, Aiden. I totally forgot about it, and now I'm soaking wet. Now I have to go change my clothes. Oh, okay, this going back to the Orbit Yard Enforcer video. It's effective, you guys. I am, wow, I should know better by now. Holy smokes. Well, we've identified that there is room along this edge, but it needs to be weeded. We have garlic planted way down, but we have a big open space here along the edge. And I know we have a lot of deer issues here, and I've planted onions here before. So I think this is where we should do it. Okay, well, you can see I changed. I have to wear green because it's St. Patrick's Day, and my mom would kill me if I wasn't wearing green. Basically, this process for planting is really simple. The more complicated thing here is just getting the bed cleaned out of all the weeds that are growing. So I'm gonna make that a different video. But we'll just show you real quick how you can dig a trench, drop the little onion set into, cover it back up, and walk away. And that's really all we're gonna do to these onions. They are very low maintenance, so for the most part, they don't get any special treatment. They're gonna be in the ground about a year and a half here in Zone 7, Central North Carolina, when planted in mid-March from an onion set. So, you know, there's some time commitment in this process. Same thing with growing them from seed, which we'll also show. Okay, you can see I have just dug a small trench. I have weeded it. I have a lot more weeding to do. And I am just gonna drop the little onion sets in about every, I don't know, a couple inches. And I'm orienting them pointy side up. That's where the vegetative growth will be. Some of them already have little bits of green emerging while they've been sitting in this bag at the store. And you can generally plant onions a little bit deep. I mean, these might be a little too deep, to be honest, but I think they're okay. Considering they're going to be in so long, I can always regrade the top around them so that they will bulb better. So that's the process, and then when you get them planted in your trench, you're just going to cover them back up, and really within a few days the foliage will start poking out, and then you'll grow them through the whole season. Now, starting onions from seed is not very difficult. Here I have seeds from So True Seed, a really great seed company out of North Carolina. And this is the long white bunching onion. So now is a great time to get these seeds started. But remember, it's going to be a long cycle in the garden. So I'm just going to fill this. Again, I just use recycled trays. You can do, you know, soil blocks, whatever you choose. I just have a lot of plastic to recycle, so this works sort of best for how I do it. And the seed sowing process is basically the same for everything. I'm just going to make a divot in the middle. You can use anything. And you'll see the onion seeds are fairly small, and they're sort of dark black. And ideally, you'll only want to do a few seeds per hole. Even bunching onions do best when they aren't too crowded. So I'm just going to carefully, I'm probably going to do 2 seeds in each hole in this tray of 4 packs. So there'll be 32 plants in this pack. So for now, I'm only going to do 1 tray. I have about a half of seed packet left. I'm just going to stash this back in the refrigerator, and I'll have more to sow at a different time. And these are just going to, I'm probably just going to stick them in my greenhouse because I'm running out of space on my back patio, and they don't really need the heat. I'm just kind of filling in the soil over top of the holes, and they'll germinate over the course of the next like 6 to 8 weeks. And I probably won't transplant these into the garden until the fall season. And realistically, they will be harvested about a year from now. And that's the thing with onions, they're a much bigger time commitment. And so a lot of people, you know, don't have a successful experience because, you know, you don't stick with it long enough. That's why I generally recommend planting garlic, because that's like a 6-month growing season, and you're pretty well guaranteed to have a nice looking bulb when you pull it out of the ground. Onions can be a little bit trickier, especially when they're in the stage of starting to really bulk up the bulb. They need to be kind of right at the soil surface, so that takes a little effort. But if you eat a lot of onions like I do, I hope this video will inspire you to grow some for yourself, whether you do it from seed or you buy a packet of onion sets and get those planted around your garden. Remember, onions are really good for deterring animals, which is really my #1 reason for growing them. The foliage above ground helps deter things like rabbits, deer, and groundhogs, and the smelly bulbs help deter in-ground critters like voles. Well, if you found this video to be helpful, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe to the Bree the Plant Lady YouTube channel for more practical gardening advice. As always, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Happy gardening.